Have you ever wondered why, even after 3 decades of life, you still don't feel truly respected? You have a stable job, you make decent money, maybe you even take care of yourself physically, but women still treat you like an afterthought. Let me tell you a truth that no one else will: women sense your weakness before you even open your mouth. They don't need to analyze it, they don't need to think about it, it's instinctual. The way you walk, the way you react, the way you seek approval, all of it sends a message. And if that message is one of a man who lacks control over himself, you've already lost. But don't get me wrong. Weakness is not about failure. It's not about making mistakes. Failure is inevitable. Mistakes are necessary for growth. Real weakness is the inability to control yourself, when your emotions dictate your actions, when you rely on others for validation, when you drift through life without purpose. A man does not need to be rich, tall, or powerful to be respected. But he must have self-mastery. Women don't expect perfection, but they will walk away from weakness. And if you're stuck in these patterns, ask yourself, how have I been living for the past 30 years? And do I want the next 10 to look the same? Today, I'm going to show you 7 signs of a man who lacks control, signs that women pick up on instantly, no matter how well you try to hide them. But more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them, following the wisdom of the Stoics: control your mind, master your emotions, and act with reason. Now, listen carefully, because if you don't change, you'll keep making the same mistakes. And in 10 years, you'll still be standing in the same place, wondering why no one respects you. Number 1. You constantly seek validation. Do you feel anxious when someone doesn't respond to your messages right away? Do you change your opinions just to fit in or make others happy? Do you constantly look for compliments and approval to feel like you matter? If the answer is yes, this is a serious problem. Why this makes you look weak? A man who cannot stand firm on his own values can never be truly strong. He is like a ship without a compass, constantly drifting with the opinions and approval of others. When you seek validation from others, you are telling the world that you are not confident in yourself. This doesn't just make you less attractive, it makes people stop respecting you altogether. Women are not drawn to a man who constantly needs them to affirm his worth. They are drawn to a man who knows who he is, knows what he's doing, and doesn't need anyone to tell him that he's valuable. How to fix it? Epictetus said, "Do not seek the good in external things, seek it within yourself." Instead of waiting for others to validate you, ask yourself, did I live today according to my principles? Did I do the right thing, even when no one was watching? Do I genuinely respect myself? If the answer is yes, then you don't need anyone else to confirm it. A strong man creates his own standards and lives by them. If you do this, recognition will come to you naturally, without you ever having to chase it. Number 2. You avoid conflict at all costs. Have you ever agreed with something you didn't believe in just to keep the peace? Do you apologize even when you did nothing wrong? Do you avoid disagreements because you don't want to upset anyone? If so, you are not a nice guy. You are afraid of confrontation, and that will make people look down on you. Why this is a sign of weakness? Many men confuse kindness with cowardice. A strong man does not seek unnecessary conflict, but he also never backs down from what he truly believes in. A man who cannot stand up for himself will never earn respect from others, whether it's from men or women. How to fix it? Marcus Aurelius said, "The goal is not to be on the side of the majority, but to avoid finding yourself in the ranks of the insane." You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight. But you must be clear, firm, and never retreat just because someone disagrees with you. Practice assertive communication. When you disagree, say it directly, "I understand your point, but I don't agree because of XYZ." When someone pressures you to do something you don't want to do, politely but firmly refuse, "I can't do that." If you can't say no, you will always be controlled by others. Number 3. You can't control your emotions. Do you get easily angry when someone criticizes you? Do you overreact to minor inconveniences? Do you let jealousy, anxiety, or frustration control you? If so, you are not in charge of yourself, and that is a clear sign of weakness. Why this is a problem? A man who cannot control his emotions is like a ship without a captain. Any storm can sink him. When you lose control, you are no longer a reliable man. You become just an overgrown child, reacting emotionally instead of thinking rationally. How to fix it? Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you feel anger, jealousy, or frustration, pause, take a deep breath, and observe your emotions. Ask yourself, is this emotion actually helping me? Is what I'm about to do a sign of strength and control? A strong man learns to observe his emotions instead of being controlled by them. Number 4. You talk more than you act. Have you ever promised a change but never followed through? Do you talk about your grand plans but never take action? Do you constantly tell people about the future you're building, yet remain in the same place year after year? If so, you are sabotaging yourself. Why this makes you look weak? A lion does not need to announce that it is a lion. It simply exists, and everyone knows. The same applies to men. A strong man does not need to brag about his discipline, his ambition, or his plans. He simply demonstrates them through his actions. But when a man talks more than he acts, it reveals that he is trying to convince himself of his own worth. Women see this immediately. When they hear you constantly talk about what you're going to do, but never actually see you doing it, they know you are a dreamer, not a doer. And no one respects a man like that. How to fix it? Silence and action. If you want to do something, start today. Don't tell anyone. Let your results speak for you. Ask yourself, am I actually making progress every day? If you said you were going to hit the gym but look the same after 3 months, you are lying to yourself. Avoid pointless bragging. If someone asks about your goals, keep it short, "I'm working on it." No long explanations needed. Simple rule, act first, talk later. Number 5. You blame others for your problems. Have you ever heard men say things like, "I'm not successful because the system is rigged. I'm not rich because I wasn't born lucky. She left me because she didn't appreciate me"? If you've said anything like this, stop immediately. Why this is a sign of weakness? A man who always blames external factors for his failures is a man who has given up control over his own life. You cannot control society, the economy, or luck. But you can control how you respond to them. Women do not respect a man who complains and blames. They are drawn to a man who accepts reality, takes responsibility, and works to improve himself. How to fix it? Seneca said, "You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sails." If you failed in your career, don't blame your boss or the economy. Learn new skills, improve yourself, and find better opportunities. If you were betrayed in a relationship, don't just blame the other person. Reflect on how you contributed to the situation and learn from it. Every day, ask yourself, am I taking full responsibility for my life today? If not, change it. A strong man owns his mistakes, even when they aren't entirely his fault. Number 6. You can't say no. Do you agree to things you don't want to do just to avoid disappointing others? Do people take advantage of your time and energy? Do you lack clear boundaries in your relationships? Why this is a problem? If you don't know how to protect your own value, no one else will do it for you. A man without boundaries is a man without self-respect. When you say yes to everything, you are not being kind, you are being spineless. People, including women, do not respect a man who cannot stand up for himself. How to fix it? Learn to say no. A man with principles does not fear disappointing others. Set clear boundaries, not to push people away, but to show that your time and energy are not free for anyone to take. Number 7. You have no purpose in life. Do you feel like your days are just repeating with no real meaning? Do you spend hours on social media without improving yourself? Do you have no long-term vision or clear goals? Why this is a problem? A man without direction has no drive, no presence, and no respect from others. Purpose is what gives a man energy, focus, and a sense of mission. Without it, you are just existing, drifting through life, instead of leading it. How to fix it? Identify a goal and commit to it. It doesn't have to be massive, but it must be something you are serious about. Stop just existing, start living with intention. Every day, ask yourself, am I moving forward, or am I just passing time? A man without purpose is invisible. A man with purpose is unstoppable. Look at yourself in the mirror. Are you the man you truly want to be? Or are you still making the same mistakes, living the same patterns, wondering why nothing changes? Here's the truth, no one is coming to save you. No one will hand you strength, respect, or purpose. These are things you must claim for yourself. The good news: you are in control. Every moment, you have a choice. To remain the same, or to start becoming the man you were meant to be. You can stop seeking validation and start building real confidence. You can stop avoiding conflict and start standing firm in your beliefs. You can stop letting emotions control you and start mastering your mind. You can stop making empty promises and start taking real action. You can stop blaming others and start owning your life. You can stop saying yes to everything and start setting clear boundaries. You can stop drifting and start living with purpose. But understand this, change does not come from watching a video. It comes from action. Most men will hear this and do nothing. They will nod, agree, and then go back to the same weak behaviors that have held them back for years. But you are not most men. The question is, will you start today, or will you look back a year from now, still wondering why no one respects you? The choice is yours. Be stronger. Be better. Take action. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more insights on mastering yourself. Leave a comment below with one action you will take today to improve yourself. Because true strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build. If this message hit you like a wake-up call, don't just sit there, take action now. Hit the like button so more men can break free from weakness and reclaim their strength. And if you're serious about mastering yourself, subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism, where we sharpen the mind, forge discipline, and build men who command respect. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 weaknesses do you recognize in yourself, and what are you doing to change it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because growth begins the moment you face the truth.